Ms. Jean Wilkins, Denver, to be followed by Mr. Pete Bella.
Thank you, council members, and Ms. Edwards for the courtesy. By the grace of Mother, Father God, Olodumare, ancestors, Larissa, and saints, on May 16, 2006, a coalition of community organizations appeared before City Council on a Citizen Day of Justice, Zero Tolerance for Police Brutality. We support a policy to prevent police killing of citizens. We are the descendants of enslaved African people, raped, castrated, and lynched. The law of this land and police have violated us and terrorized us for hundreds of years in a so-called Christian country, beating, kicking, and killing us, whether emotionally disturbed, enslaved, voters, homeowners, and homeless alike. No liberty and justice for all. We support a policy to prevent police killing citizens with their cars or their guns. There is a Klan mentality that terrorizes Black, Latino, people of color, and poor people. We call on you to test police with the racism quotient test, www.racismtest.com. We need to be safe from out-of-control police. We need an all-citizen review board with subpoena power and investigatory authority now. Also, we urge a policy to support reparations, justice, and equality. We have been married 56 years, canonically. We have 6 children we raised in this country, and we reared a foster daughter. I'm telling you, it has been hell to be positive, to stay involved, and to secure an education. It has been a stressful and difficult situation. This is a color-coded country, and we have witnessed a pathological response to color and cultural difference, which is consistent, malevolent, malicious, and violent. It is time that we stop posturing as a democracy and that we begin to implement what it means to have justice and liberty for all. We have never experienced it. We have inequity, inequality, and it is implemented at every phase of our interaction with every single institution that we've been exposed to. My husband is an educator, retired. I have a master's in human services. We are thoroughly disrespected. Personally, we should be at home right now fussing about the fact that they didn't pick up the pipes when they so-called fixed our street. Okay? But we're doing this because it's a matter of life and death.
Thank you.
Ms. Denver, I need to ask, I want to be clear on what you're asking of City Council today. I understand and agree with a lot of what you said, but what are you asking City Council specifically to do?
City Council has said, or the mayor has said, that there's a policy that has been put forward from the police department that was not reviewed by City Council. Now, we were down here May 16th calling for zero tolerance of police brutality, and a policy that has been discussed. I don't have a copy of it. The policy is to review, or to prevent, rather, the policy suggested by the commissioner is to prevent police chasing people with their cars and hitting them and killing them, and to prevent the drawing of their guns.
So you're talking specifically about that particular policy being addressed?
Yes, because...
Can I make a suggestion as how you can get a probably more proactive and immediate response? Is that you submit to the Public Safety Committee, Adrian Garcia is the chair, to have that issue reviewed by the committee, and then that way you can have a hearing on the issue and not just come up and talk to council at large, but give it to specific charge to a committee that looks at those issues.
In actuality, apparently, there's some frustration, I would imagine, when you micromanage the commissioner of police. If he puts forward a policy statement that says he wants to curtail what police are doing in the street and with their guns, it's micromanagement, in my opinion, that all of a sudden now the policy has to be put on hold. Whatever constrains these Ku Klux Klan police in our communities is important.
I understand that and I appreciate that, but I would, if you want, I'm just suggesting a direct response, either pro or against what your position is saying, is that you give that charge to the Public Safety Committee to say, we'd like to see why are we now doing this, whatever your concern is. And if you don't think the chief's policy should be second-guessed or micromanaged, then you need to say that in a committee setting so that you can have some action done on it. That's my only suggestion.
I appreciate your suggestion. I know that some of our committee members had met with Mr. Green on the issue of this Citizen Review Board. I don't know what has happened since then. What I'm saying to you is, if I appear before City Council, given the fact that I'm 76 and my husband is 78, and I say to City Council that this is our position, then it would seem to me that the committee could take that under advisement and I wouldn't have to use more time.
Well, I would just suggest while you're at the mic that you request that of Councilmember Garcia to take it under consideration.
Yes, I certainly believe that constituents in Mr. Garcia's district would be thoroughly familiar with the inappropriate behavior of the police and have attended enough funerals and experienced enough terrorism that they would not object to his having that on his agenda.
We have Councilmember Green.
Good afternoon, Ms.
Good
Denver.
afternoon.
I did, in fact, meet with members of the committee, and we did talk about what the next course of action would be. Most of the laws that are concerned with police brutality are from the Texas Penal Code, and that is where that's done at the state level. Our legislators are the ones who make up the codes and along those lines. This is what the committee had planned to do: is to meet with our local delegation. To talk to them about the legislative package that they want to pursue, and that was the last I had heard of that. So I think that they are still working on that. All we can do is we can pass a resolution, but that's not going to do anything here. The only type of law we can pass is a law that will have a $500 maximum, which is a Class C misdemeanor. There's no teeth in anything that we can do other than obviously a policy that says no police brutality. Well, that sounds kind of very elementary, but in fact I believe that's already the policy, is that there should be no police brutality.
Apparently the police haven't heard of it.
And unfortunately, that may be the case.
Okay, but I think if we begin to assess the police with the racism quotient test, then we can see whether they are psychologically and sociologically dysfunctional, and then we can say to them, okay, we're not going to give you a gun to go in the community, and you're not going to drive a car until we feel that you have a grip on yourself, and then we are better able to evaluate those people that we're putting in the street.
Right, and you make a very good point. In the interim, though, the committee itself is going to deal with our legislators to see how we can strengthen the laws that are already there, or else create something new. And that legislative session begins in January. So now is that critical phase for them as they make their rounds to our state legislators, and I think that they've already begun that process.
Okay, if we have a state Citizens Review Board, and if we have a federal Citizens Review Board without the relatives of the police on it, maybe we can get somewhere. Maybe we can stop attending these funerals, and we can attend to other quality of life issues that we would enjoy at this stage in life. I'm sure you understand, because when I was a delegate to the Black Catholic Convention in 1970, at that time, we had Father Lawrence Lucas as speaker. He's the author of Black Priest, White Church. And at that time, he said that we had these problems and that we have gatekeepers in our community who are not helping us to change what needs to be changed in our community. So what I'm saying to you, since 1970, I've been traveling the country to these conventions, and everywhere I went, there was some sort of action by police that caused terror and death in our community. Okay, so by that, since 1970 until now, we still don't have the quality.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Your time is up, and
I thank you.
If you'd like to meet with Mr. Garcia, we can see if we can get this on a committee. We've done Civilian Review Board review in the city several times. It won't hurt to do it again.